Welcome back to the channel. So, guess I wanted to make another freaking I guess social commentary thing on this whole thing because I just saw the news of like apparently a new girl on the internet has fallen victim to the quote unquote freshly joining OnlyFans after turning 18, and of course the random internet persona I'm talking about is the Piper Raquel case. She was highly sexualized at a young age, and many want to point fingers at her mother. I just don't want to say at the internet entirely. Um, we always knew the dangers of just technology, just overall, it being dangerous, especially in the hands of children. Especially also since I'm also reacting to another video. I think Brad Cooper did a video on Grok, and Grok like 18 plus risky, spicy, like image generation, and how this it also she was basically talking about this as a concern for children essentially, but it's like this is nothing new, okay? The only thing new is basically child safety on the internet. Back then it was like child safety on cable television, okay? If you all remember the news, like let's look at the case study of Britney Spears, okay? Let's or just any like story coming out of Disney Channel, okay? Bella Thorne, like you can name a whole bunch, like the industry plants, like all the Disney stars coming out the woodwork, everyone being a Disney kid, and heck, let's even go back to Nickelodeon with Dan Snyder, with all the Dan Snyder stuff that Dan Snyder produced, and we all know that guy with the freaking creek that there's still content that All Quiet on Set didn't cover that they're all coming out with now because Zack Snyder was just a freakier than Quentin Tarantino when it came to feet because at least Quentin Tarantino wanted the feet of grown women who could consent to getting their feet sniffed. Zack Snyder, he wanted the children. He wanted the children because he was that dirty bastard, alright? So this whole thing of like, well, okay, going back to the whole Piper Raquel on OnlyFans, okay, like the problem with it is obviously there was always going to be this problem of like, okay, once a girl turns 18, she has full access to making an OnlyFans account, and this was always my issue with OnlyFans, okay, like, yes, we can make the argument that for so long women talking about like just sex in general was always taboo more for women than it was for men. For men, we kind of did get away with like talking about sex stuff, but when it came to women talking about their stuff too, like yeah, there was a double standard. But now, okay, the double standard has come back. They reinvented, rewrote it into something else, trying to like paint it as woman's liberation. And at the end of it, while while the women are getting this illusion of like liberation, of like sexual liberation, it's like what they fail to now see now is that the result of this is now that the children get harmed, okay? Because, like, when it comes to, like, all this identity politics, the victim who is always a victim in this case is always the children. It's always the children who end up getting, like, hurt in the end with all of this stuff here in the culture war, okay? And this was the biggest issue because, like, again, if I was to pull up my Britney Spears, what I wanted to bring about with that time about is how Britney Spears. Again, child. Child actor, child actress, child celebrity, okay? Once she started getting bigger, started going through puberty, that's where the producers come in and they start sexualizing her. And we know this to this day. There's a whole lot of evidence for Britney Spears. So much so that it freaking broke her mind that she went crazy and started dancing with knives on Instagram, and when that came out, and again, she's coming out around the same time that Kanye is going through a mental breakdown too. And we all know what the conspiracy here is that, oh no, we need to leave Britney alone. Hey, but let's look at fucking Kanye being a neo-Nazi, being a full-on Nazi, okay? Yeah, we know he's crazy, but people don't want to claim the same for Britney because of a double standard between men and women, but I'll be going on a freaking tangent because of that. Essentially, the internet is not even a safe place. Even if we go back to what's happening with Roblox wanting to protect predators over the actual users, over the actual children, you know. And let's not forget in the UK too, in the UK where they have a lot of, unfortunately, well, they are doing a good job of being inclusive of doing immigration. Unfortunately, because of the immigration, some bad actors have plopped in and are now doing heinous crimes in the UK, and they can speak about it because of also how screw up laws are over in the UK, okay? And in the US, you know, it's like, again, so basically what I'm trying to make this whole video about is that children are not safe on the internet anymore, okay? Like, yeah, we could argue we're past the wild, wild west of the internet because the internet really has not been in the public's eye really for that long. Okay, like you gotta remember, HTML was invented back in the 90s by Stern. Everyone else that isn't like a civilian has had access to the internet longer than us. But like we're still in the early ages of the internet, and children are not safe. I knew this was always going to be the case, and I knew like, and I'm kind of glad that like people are not going to go back and say, hey, maybe we should have been questioning the OnlyFans model for a longer bit because now the feminists are like, oh, yay, they got their sexual liberation, but at the cost of like now child safety being coming into question. So, is this what the feminists wanted? The children at risk? Putting the children at risk? Young girls at risk? Either way, stay, stay safe out there, guys.